If I lived in regret, that would just slow me down. I won't let my heart be silent. When I'm ready, you will know, 'cause my heart's gonna open and sing. My heart's gonna open and sing. This is my vision and this is my dream. I'm gonna make it happen for me. I won't let my heart be silent. When I'm ready, you will know, 'cause my heart's gonna open and sing. My heart's gonna open and sing. It's the perfect thing, I must confess. I don't care about the rest, I'm gonna just say yes. I'm gonna open and sing. No one could tell me how or where to go. I looked inside and now I know. My heart's gonna open and sing. 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 This is my best, I don't care about the rest. I'm gonna just say yes. I'm gonna open and sing. It's the perfect thing. It's the perfect thing. It's the perfect thing. It's the perfect thing. When I'm ready, you will know, 'cause my heart opens up and sings.
Who lights the stars at night? Who shines the sun? Who lights the stars at night? Who shines the sun? To this one I give my life, till my days are done. To this one I give my heart, till we merge as one. Who lights the stars at night? Who shines the sun? Who lights the stars at night? Who shines the sun? who beats my heart. Who is this one who lights the stars, who shines the sun, who beats my heart? Who is this one? Who is this one who lights the stars, who shines the sun, who beats my heart? Who is this one?
What a beautiful, amazing universe we live in. Thank you to NASA and thank you to Hubble. Wasn't that amazing? Well, good morning and welcome to the Greater Philadelphia Center for Spiritual Living. I am Maxine Kaye, happy to be the spiritual leader of this beloved community. And we're delighted you're here with us this morning, whether in person or virtually. And wherever you are and whatever your path, you are so welcome with us here today. Reverend Mike and I just returned from a fabulous Thanksgiving trip with family in Kansas City, got back yesterday, and we're very grateful to be home to our Philly family. We have families everywhere, haven't we? Those that are biological and those that are by choice, and they're all wonderful. And somebody suggested to me yesterday when we were coming home that somehow we probably were bringing Kansas City weather home with us. And I think that actually this is Philadelphia weather, and we're happy about it. So here we study and we practice the principles of science of mind, and these are effective spiritual tools that we use for every imaginable human condition, and we support each other as we're moving through our processes. And whether these conditions that are ready to be healed are physical, or whether they are about prosperity or relationships or creative expression, we support each other as we move through and use these wonderful spiritual tools to make a difference in our personal lives and ultimately in the world itself. For we envision awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and we envision a world that works for all. And we also have a purpose statement, and I'd invite you to say it with me if you choose to. Living, loving, learning, spirituality that works. And now we have our opening song, Path of Light by Peggy Lebo.
Trust in the Spirit. I will open my heart. I will always remember of light. I'll shine a light in the darkness. I will bring forth the truth. I will always honor the beauty and light that I see in you. Lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. Lead me on this path of light. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light and the love. Completely one. As I breathe, I become completely one with the light and the love. Completely one. Lead me on this path of light, and every step I take in faith leads me home to a place where all I know is love and grace. All I know is love. All I know is love. All I know is love and grace. Grace.
That was lovely. All right, I don't see any kids here today, except the children who live inside of us, right? So if you're out there and you're tuning in, well, I'd like to have just a couple of moments to speak with you. How was your Thanksgiving? Did you have a wonderful time with family, with friends? Well, ours was warm and wonderful with family and friends. It was warm and wonderful, and it was also nice and cold where we were in Kansas City. And I think that we were also thankful. We had several days together. It was beautiful. And we had our Thanksgiving dinner by having made, what did we make? Not pies, not turkey. We made reservations. And we had a wonderful dinner at a beautiful restaurant, and it was just delightful. And at the beginning, before we even began our dinner, we went around the table, as you probably did in your homes as well, and we just took a few minutes, each of us, to share what we were grateful for. And that was a really nice thing to do. If you did that, wonderful. And if you didn't, maybe you could surprise your parents tonight at dinner and say, let's just take a minute and each of us tell the things that we're grateful for. And what was really sweet was that a lot of it was each other for which we were grateful. And I wouldn't be surprised if that would be what's so for you as well. So we were celebrating each other. We were celebrating God's presence within us all and how we care about each other. And so, even when we're experiencing a problem, rather than get too upset about things, because that never helps anything, does it? It can actually make it worse, because if we're thinking too much about the problem and not about the solution and not about that loving presence that can help us through these things, we might be making more of that rather than bringing our attention away from it long enough to remember there's always a solution. and that God is right in the middle of everything, and that there's this beautiful, universal, underlying harmony underneath every condition and every situation that may be going on at the time. And so when we're experiencing anything like that, you know what I have found the best thing to do is, and that is to give thanks for the opportunity to turn that problem into a project. Now, don't we love projects? You know, whether it's Lincoln Logs or an art project or something, that becomes something that we can really put ourselves into and have a good time doing it. And then we let divine intelligence show us how to solve it. You know, tonight is the first night of our Jewish friends' celebration of Hanukkah. It's an 8-day celebration, and I've told you the story before, so I'll make it really brief, and that is that it was important all those many centuries ago. It was important to be able to have enough oil in the lamps in the Temple of Solomon to burn for 8 days, because that temple had been taken over by people who were not friendly toward the Jewish people, and so they kind of made a mess out of it. And when they got the temple back, the Temple of Solomon, they needed to go and cleanse it, and it took a lot of oil for that, and they didn't have enough. They only had a little bit. And then there was a widow woman who said, "I will give you all of my oil," which was just a little bit, but it was blessed, and they celebrated the possibility of having light enough to cleanse it for whatever time it was going to take, and it took 8 days, and they called it a miracle. And what it really was a willingness to dip deeply into their faith and know that there was an answer to this problem, and they made a wonderful project out of it. And so the light burned for 8 days, and that's the Festival of the Lights that they begin to celebrate tonight after the sun goes down. Isn't that wonderful? And so that story teaches us to keep the light within us, which is God's light within us, to keep it burning brightly, and to give thanks and to celebrate no matter what else may be going on, because there is an answer. There is a solution, even in difficult circumstances. So let's keep feeling thankful, and let's keep celebrating everything. How about today, celebrate yourself, celebrate your family, celebrate this beautiful day. We love you a lot, and we're looking forward to you being back here with us again. Bye for now. Okay, now maybe we adults with inner children would enjoy a meditation. Shall we begin? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we begin as always with a deep, deep holy breath of life. Breathing in that loving energy, that wisdom, and expressing that life so that it touches and blesses everyone around us. Breathe in this divine spirit and let it flow through your body, nurturing it, healing whatever may need to be healed, bringing it to life. Let this divine spirit flow through your mind, clarifying it, keeping it centered in truth. Let it flow through your heart, bringing a sense of serenity and rest. Feel the divine light within you that can never be extinguished. Feel it warming, renewing you completely. Continue to breathe in this holy breath. And now let this breath become a pathway to your heart. And here we begin to see with the eye of the heart, the eye of love, the eye of wisdom. We hear with the ear of the heart, the ear of harmony, the ear of tranquility. Now let's begin celebrating with great thanksgiving for what is about to occur. Imagine now complete darkness. No visible manifestation at all. Nothing perceptible, except a palpable sense of life desiring to stir. Begin to see a slight glimmer of light. Watch it grow larger. Feel its warmth. Let it renew you. Begin rejoicing in all the possibilities. And now perceive the world emerging, fresh and new and alive, as you are fresh and new and alive. Your joy is opening the flow of greater good. The light within you becomes brighter and brighter. It moves out from you, touching and blessing everyone near you. It continues to move out and to bless the world and the universe itself. Now let's come into the silence. Enter into this sacred silence with an open heart and mind, and just be. And now continue to celebrate this light, the light that heals, the light that nurtures, the light that illuminates and enlightens. Celebrate life, your life, all life, infinite opportunities to let God be God in you. And we give thanks that all is well. And now I would invite our practitioner of the day, Sarah Funk, to give us some words and an opening treatment.
Good morning, everyone, and happy post-Thanksgiving. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My name is Sarah Funk. I am a licensed religious science practitioner with the Centers for Spiritual Living. And I am doing today's treatment for you. And before I do, I want to just read something from the song, Celebrate Good Times, because this week we are talking about celebration. So celebrate good times, come on. There's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're going to celebrate your party with you. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world, come on. I love that song. And I'll do this treatment in the first person, and you can take it for yourself if you so desire. There is a power of celebration all the time. This power, this one source, this divine presence is God in action. And I know that this divine presence, because it's everywhere, that it lives within me and in every sentient being. And it is a time of celebration each and every day, not just during the holidays, but every day. We share our love. I share my love and my joy with my friends, my family, and with everyone I meet. looking into the eyes of everyone and seeing that God within them. And while sometimes that is a challenge, the challenging times are the best time to practice seeing God in all. And I know God lives within me no matter what is going on. Good times, challenging times, I go within. And there I find the greatest present I've ever been given, the love of God. That peace of God that is always with me. The joy of God, it's always there. I cannot be separated from it. That's not possible. And I celebrate that. I celebrate all the people I meet, all the people in my life. And I give great thanks that this is so. I know it's the truth. I'm grateful that it is, and I release this treatment into the holy law of God, knowing it is acted upon and done. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Sarah. Now let's state our affirmation together, if you will. Oh, that's pretty. There we are. Together, if you wish. I light the lights of faith and delight, entering into a grand celebration of life in every moment. Oh, I believe you. That was good. Good. Now let's go ahead and I'll share some thoughts and feelings and ideas and concepts with all of us, including me. Well, our theme for the month of November has been and continues to be the grateful heart, and I recommend we continue to use that as our theme, no matter where we are and when. And so this is the last Sunday of November, and I trust you all did have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I love continuing to celebrate our ability to feel gratitude anywhere, everywhere, and all the time. Our quote this morning is from Ernest Holmes. If we gaze longingly at joy, it will make its home with us, and we shall enter its portals and be happy. That seems to go right along with our topic for today, which is, until further notice, celebrate. You know, we have a lot of things going on in our world. We have a lot of concepts, opinions, advice, etc. that happens, and we choose in our teaching not to become absorbed in what they say. We prefer to go straight to source, to experience the presence, the loving, wise, and wonderful presence of the divine, and keep our attention focused on it, and decide that no matter what may be going on, we have an opportunity, a privilege, a right to move into celebration. And what happens when we do that is that our hearts expand with gratitude, and gratitude is causative. Thanksgiving is not just a nice social thing to do. Oh, thanks so much. That was nice of you. It's bigger than that. It's greater than that. It is powerful. The attitude of gratitude is causative. When we move into a sense of gratefulness and celebration, we move away from all the things that might have caught us and brought us down into a place that other people may choose. We do not choose to be there. There is heaven and there is hell. Which shall we choose? Choose you this day. Hell is a consciousness of being held in and being frightened and being at the effect of the conditions in the world. Heaven is that which is forever and ever expanding, right? The Greek word is uranos. I prefer that, and so do you. And so we celebrate and we give thanks, and when we do, we are opening up the portals of our good. And that's a wonderful thing to do. So no matter the temporary conditions that we may experience, life is a celebration, and we can enter into it with joy at any moment. It doesn't depend on what's going on out there. It doesn't depend on anybody's opinion except our own. My opinion is God is all there is. And it's more than an opinion. It's a very deep awareness. God is all there is. And infinite harmony underlies all the circumstances that humans move through. And you and I are divine human beings. Isn't it fun to celebrate both? Celebrate our humanity, celebrate our divinity all day long. Doing this, we will have brought heaven onto earth. That's what we're doing in following this beautiful teaching and these wonderful principles. You see, people in challenging times still are able to find something to celebrate. Years and years ago, Reverend Dr. Chet Kastelaw wrote a wonderful book called When Things Look the Worst. And he brought that right out of the Science of Mind textbook that was written, actually recorded from his talks, many of the pages in there, about what do you do when things look the worst. And Ernest Holmes suggested that, if we forget to use the principles that we have here that are so dynamic and life-changing, when we forget to use them when we're going through something really terribly tough, well, maybe we didn't really know it as much as we thought we did. We need to practice it some more when life is good so that it's easier to move into it when the conditions are challenging, shall we say. We can celebrate anything. We can celebrate all day long. And it doesn't have anything to do with what may be presenting itself to us. Someone dies. What do we have for them and for the people who remain here on earth? A celebration of life, right? A celebration of life. We certainly grieve, but we also enter into the joyous experience of the beautiful being, of the wonderful accomplishments, of how he or she has affected our hearts and our lives. It's a celebration. Viktor Frankl, when he was in the terrible prison camps, he had lost everything. His family, his wife, they even took his wedding ring. He was a psychiatrist and he had been working on a book for years, and they took his manuscript. And he realized that the one thing they could not take from him was his mind and his ability to choose. He survived those camps, and he came back to teach and to practice what he developed in his practice called logotherapy. Logotherapy, it was about the meaning, finding meaning in life. Now, we find meaning in life by opening up our portals in celebrating. When I begin to feel grateful and begin to celebrate, something opens up and I find things to celebrate that I hadn't noticed before. So people I know people right now who are experiencing great physical challenges, who are celebrating life, and as a result, they're getting better. I think that's a wonderful practice, don't you? I know people who are short on finances and they're celebrating. I mean, they may be short on finances, but they're large on joy. And that opens up the flow of possibilities, and they find that their abundance begins to show up in ways they never even imagined. How about someone who is alone and begins to feel lonely? That can be shifted from loneliness to all one, alone. Just add an L. All one. Recognizing that there's only one presence, one power. It is divine. It's within and around each and every one of us. No exceptions. When I feel that divine presence, I cannot feel alone. It's not possible, as Sarah mentioned, it's not possible to be separated from God. Because there's only one presence, one power, one life. That's the life of God. It is I don't care what you call it, but it's still one life. It's one divine energy. And it moves in through and as each one of us. And as we experience that unity and realize that we can't get outside of it, there's no more loneliness. And once we really get into that mindset, that heart-opening presence of knowing that there is love enough for everyone, starting with ourselves, we find ourselves experiencing friendships and relationships because we have become open to it, because we have moved away from, oh, we ate it awful, there's nobody here to have dinner with, into, I am so loved, I am so nurtured, I am so embraced by the divine embrace that I'm happy and I'm celebrating. It's only natural then that people begin to show up in my life. And so, if you're unhappy with your work, what do we do there? We give thanks. What do we give thanks for? It doesn't matter. Start giving thanks that you're able to get there every day. Start giving thanks for the good things that you do see, whether you're happy with your work or not happy with your work. Give thanks for the people, the friendships that you've made there. Something shifts when we begin to experience gratitude and joy and celebration. Something shifts. And as many of us know, one of two things are likely to occur then. One is somehow things improve right there where we are, and we become really happy with that position. Or there is an opportunity that takes us out that door and into another one. It all begins with our attitude of gratitude. It all begins with our willingness to celebrate. Celebrate. I love that word. And I guess some of you have heard about the monks who were transcribing the Bible, the Septuagint. And then later on, one of them noticed that there was a fly speck of some kind where it said that you were to be celibate. And it's like, no, it was celebrate. Never mind. I digress, but that was kind of fun. The seemingly you're still laughing, good. The seemingly impossible. Have you ever been faced with something that seemed impossible? That's a good time to realize who you are. I am an individualized expression of the life of the divine, the life of God itself. I am. So we move from impossible to I'm possible. And the reason that I'm possible is that I'm not doing anything by myself. It is the presence and the power of that divinity within me, within all of us, that makes it all happen. So the seemingly impossible transforms instantly with faith and with delight. So Thanksgiving is a causative energy. It's not just a social grace. It's not just an expected response. As Eric Butterworth says in Spiritual Economics, which is a class that we're teaching right now, it is an effect, it being Thanksgiving, it is an effective key by which anyone may meet life as a powerful conqueror. Woo! Don't you like that a whole lot better than victim? To be a powerful conqueror comes by our beginning to recognize the presence of the divine within us and start giving thanks for it and for everything. Just give thanks in everything, recognizing that all kinds of beautiful things are going to show up. As our consciousness changes, the condition changes. Isn't that gorgeous? The consciousness changes, the condition changes. So it keeps us in the source of life, in the flow of good. As I was sharing with the kids earlier, Hanukkah begins tonight, sundown. And it's a beautiful story about an impossible situation where they had to cleanse this temple that had been defiled. And they didn't have enough oil to do it, and somehow the miracle happened. Well, what happened was there was enough faith. There was enough awareness that God was still their source, that there had to be an avenue through which they could have the oil for as long as was needed to cleanse this temple and make it their own again. The widow's faith, the widow's generosity, and the oil burned for 8 nights. So we get to deepen our faith. We get to keep our lights alive and connect them with other people's lights. Because there's only one light, and each of us is like, it's like we're a prism, so that the light shines in so many different ways, very uniquely, in, through, and as each one of us. And we keep that light shining by continuing to move to it within ourselves, and then to recognize it in each other. Ooh, your light's bright. Look at someone else and say it to those who think they'll get you think they'll get it. Otherwise, just experience it within yourself. See each other's lights shining. We can do that. And the Hanukkah lights, which begin tonight, with the Shamash candle, that's the 9th candle, where each one is lit one night, and then there is the ritual and the celebration and the food and the joy, and the children get to go look for things and they spin their dreidels, and it's a great celebration. You should go. It begins and it continues, and it's a wonderful, wonderful way to choose happiness, and it reminds us about the deepening faith. And it reminds us about the light that cannot be extinguished. So we choose happiness, and it promises an environment of expansion into ever-growing success. Don't we love to experience our lives, as Eric Butterworth says, as a powerful conqueror? Not that we have to fight anything. We're not warriors. Well, maybe spiritual warriors, but it's a sweet thing. It's a gentle thing. It's simply aligning ourselves with that presence and with that power and letting it move through us in such a way that the consciousness changes and the condition changes, right? That's where it begins. It has to begin there. So how can we celebrate in the midst of uncertainty? There's a lot of uncertainty going on. But you know, this is not the first time in the life of the human race that there has been uncertainty. Is that saber-toothed tiger going to get me or not? There's been uncertainty as long as we've been on the planet. It just changes according to how we are experiencing our lives as a human race at that time. Well, one thing I know we can celebrate in the midst of uncertainty is to have complete confidence in the love and the law. Remember, Ernest Holmes taught us, court the presence and direct the law. How do we court the presence? In meditation, in quiet contemplation, in walks in the woods, in just being still long enough to experience that divine love that just embraces us. And once we've connected with that presence and that power, nothing is impossible. And when we do connect, and we're already connected, you can't be disconnected, but we feel separate and apart, don't we? See, God never leaves. It's we who walked away in our minds. And all we need to do is come back to the realization that we can never be outside of that presence. We can never be outside of that power. And once we have established our connection, conscious connection, with that divine love, then we speak our word of power, our word of truth. I celebrate this moment and invite all good to flow through my life and through my loved ones and through the world itself, and we allow our word to work through the law of mind that we direct then, and delight and celebrate its beautiful manifestations. We can look forward to those manifestations of good with a cheerful expectancy. You Troward students know about that, don't you? With a cheerful expectancy. It's the cheerful expectancy that opens up the portals of our consciousness in order to allow that good to be in our experience, in our lives. Cheerful expectancy, thanksgiving, celebration, that it's all causative. It's what starts the flow. And so let's just realize that we have the constancy of God's love and the dependability upon the law of cause and effect. So let's not wait for a reason to celebrate. we've got a lot of things to celebrate this month, right? And next month, we're really into the season now, aren't we? and so we have a lot of things to celebrate. We have a lot of occasions to celebrate. We get a lot of food to celebrate. And that's wonderful. But let's not wait for a reason. Celebration, thanksgiving, appreciation, true joy, they all truly bring about fabulous, joyful, joy-filled, delightful conditions. So let's let faith light our way. Let's take some meaning for ourselves from the Hanukkah celebration. Let's let faith light our way. Let's let delight open us to ever-increasing good. And even when things look the worst, and especially when things look the worst, that's the time to celebrate. Things may be uncertain, but here's what we are all pledged to do now, I trust, and that is, until further notice, celebrate every moment. It will change everything for the better. Will you say with me, I celebrate every moment.
I celebrate every moment.
I choose an ever-deepening faith.
I choose an ever-deepening faith.
I choose an ever-expanding joy.
I choose an ever-expanding joy.
I choose to celebrate life every instant.
I choose to celebrate life every instant.
And so, my beloveds, beginneth our lesson. Thank you. Thank you. I love celebrating with you. Now's the time of our sharing of our abundance. I love this part because it gives me great joy. It gives me deep delight to share my good with this center, which is the closest point of my source of abundance. And I love that this circulation, like we are all recirculating fountains of prosperity. This circulation is a beautiful experience to set into motion. And so there are different ways you may give if you choose to give to our beautiful beloved community. And if you happen to be here and you like giving in the crystal bowls, there are envelopes. And if you take one of these envelopes near the bowl, if you are giving cash, just put the cash in there and please put your name on it because God likes to give you credit. Credit. No, not that kind. God would prefer to give you cash. And so let's take our gift in our hands. Some of us like to hold it to our hearts and to know that as we speak our prosperity affirmation together, I choose to celebrate prosperity. Divine love blesses my gift. It is my acceptance of God as the source of my abundant supply. With joy and gratitude, I share my abundance with this center. In doing so, I am one with the law of circulation. My tithe goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It returns to me multiplied abundantly, and I am prospered, and so it is.
Thank you, God, for everything. 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 I'd like you to repeat after me. Thank you. 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 Thank you, God, for everything. 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 Thank you, God, for everything.
Good morning. I'm Suzanne Smithers, and I am, it is my great privilege to be a member of your Board of Trustees. Board of Directors. Welcome. We're thrilled to have you join us today, wherever you are in the world. Thanks so much, Dr. Maxine. I'm truly grateful for you and your inspiring talks every Sunday. I know many of you have received your annual intentional giving information in the mail and a follow-up email reminder. It is important that we have your input within the next week. By giving this your careful consideration and returning your commitment for 2022 as quickly as possible, the board will be able to develop a budget that falls within the expected income. If you have any questions about the program, you may email our treasurer, Karen Davis, at kmdavis0331@gmail.com. I'm excited to announce that we are holding our annual winter solstice program in person this year, Saturday, December 18th, starting at 7 p.m. Yay! So we invite you to come and hear our special guests and live music. This year, Karen Drucker will be our featured musical artist, along with special appearance by CSL's spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Edward Villon. Thank you for that little help there. Our solstice theme is Nurturing Night, Loving the Light. We do hope you will join us live here at the center at 7 p.m. on December 18th. Rick and I are really looking forward to being here. For those of you who are here today, our bookstore is open, so be sure to stop by and reacquaint yourselves with our many spiritual gifts, our spiritual books, and the December Science of Mind magazine, featuring Thich Nhat Hanh and the Journey of Becoming. Yay! If you are watching and enjoying our Sunday celebrations and love notes on our Facebook or YouTube channel, be sure to like, to describe, and to share. Subscribe, not describe. And share with others. When you subscribe, you will receive notices when our Sunday celebration and our daily love notes are uploaded. Our celebrations begin every Sunday at 10:30 a.m. We are also holding a meditation center in our meditation room starting at 10 a.m. Our goal is to provide a safe environment, and we're following all CDC guidelines. And at this time, we are requiring masks. For those who join us in person, we ask that you be considerate of those who are wearing red and yellow name tags in terms of keeping safe distances. We will continue to live stream for all of those who choose to watch from the comfort of your homes. And as a reminder to view from home, just visit our website, www.cslphilly.org, and click on the orange Watch Live button to see all of our virtual love notes and past Sunday celebrations. That's it for today's celebration. Wishing everyone a great week ahead. Thank you.
Nice job, Suzanne. Thank you so much. Oh, you turned it off already.
I did.
She's so smart. That was great. Thank you, thank you. Well, and we're going to have a wonderful closing song very shortly. You're going to love it. Make sure you stay tuned because here it comes. It's called Celebration. What else? That was wonderful, wasn't it? Oh, I could listen to that all day. Thank you so much for being with us today. Post-Thanksgiving, ready to move into our holidays with great joy and celebration. Okay, so as we go forth, it's with the light in our hearts shining so brightly that we celebrate each beloved we see. We celebrate life itself, and everyone around us is lifted. And so it is. Yay.